Hello friends, this is Apur with the booktuber, and I'm back today again with another book, this time a non-fiction called Amritsar, Mrs. Gandhi's Last Battle by Mark Tully and Satish Jacob. So they are BBC journalists who wrote this book, and this is based on the Operation Blue Star which took place in 1984 to free the Golden Temple and Punjab from the terrors of extremist Sikhs of Khalistani revolution. And first talking about the book. I bought the Kindle edition of this book, which cost me just a little bit less than 200 rupees, and I had to say I was really disappointed with this book. I should have bought the paperback cost just above 200 rupees. The problem was that this book was this Kindle edition was horrible. There were more than 50 typographical mistakes, spelling mistakes, and different sort of technical mistakes that really made the reading experience horrible. Other than that, the whole book was really concisely written, well edited, tightly knit, and it was such an engaging read that I could never take my eyes off the pages of the books until I finished it, which took me about 4 to 5 hours because I was really enjoying the book and I didn't want to read it too fast or something. So about the book, first before I dive right into the book, I would like to ask you, all the listeners, what do you know about the Operation Blue Star? When I was a teenager, I first learned about the Operation Blue Star, and the popular media fed me stories like there was this guy called Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale. He was an extremist Sikh who wanted a Khalistan, or a separate state, a separate nation for the Sikhs. And he spread terror against the Hindus and other communities, killed people, spread terror all around, and then took refuge inside the Golden Temple, fortified it with guns and ammunition from our neighboring countries who wanted disharmony within our country. Finally, our heroic army just swooped in, destroyed the whole temple, killed Jarnail Singh, and freed us from the terror. And but when I decided to read this book, and that was some time ago, and I realized that how much of it was actually wrong. First of all, the whole fiasco was never about Khalistan. The Khalistan revolution is actually quite different from what was claimed by the supporters of Bhindranwale. They did want a separate state, but not separate from India. They just wanted everyone to take Sikh seriously and make a place for themselves in the nation, because they were afraid that this was a Hindu nation, they would be absorbed into Hinduism. And this was the basis for all the confusion which gave rise to all the extremism. And the most important thing that you get to learn from this book is that this was actually fueled by political parties, and especially Congress and Akali Dal. They tried to use it to their advantage, and they stoked the fire inside people to tell them that no, Hinduism is that and Hinduism is those. And what happens is that suddenly a monster like Bhindranwale was born, because Congress was backing it, and then Akali Dal also wanted to back him, and then he was killing Hindus and all people around. And the most important aspect is that the lines that has been said officially that our neighboring countries were supporting Bhindranwale actively was never really any true, because you don't need the neighboring countries when your own country is supporting you, right? Okay, so first of all, the negotiations were terrible, and this should have got Bhindranwale a long time before all those things happened. One after another wrong decision led to a terrible situation, and finally when army came in, all the miscalculations and arrogance were paid with the lives of 100 and more brave army individuals and personnel, and that was a heartbreaking situation. To make matters worse, all the Sikhs around the country thought that this was a disrespect towards the religion, and finally 2 of them decided to shoot dead our Prime Minister, Mrs. Indira Gandhi. and the aftermath was terrible. The Congress Party, and I'm not going to hold back, the National Congress Party, they organized riots, anti-Sikh riots all over India, and they killed brave Sikh souls, and they never, and even to this day, they didn't feel qualms of conscience. Those accused are going around roaming around freely, and they're being selected as MLAs, as chief ministers, and whatnot. They should be behind bars, I think. Yes, sure, they should be behind bars. And I'm really proud to say that even in West Bengal, there's so many Hindus that gave refuge to people, protected them, hid them from this maniacal Congress. And I don't think from the time when I came to know about the role of Congress in this, the super active role of Congress in these riots, I don't think this party should ever be allowed to rule our country. They are so biased, they're so wrong, and they did such horrible things. This horrible deed should never go unpunished. But let's just get back to the book. I think this is a great book. You want to know everything about Operation Blue Star? Read this. It's absolutely beautiful. It's absolutely concise. It won't take much of your time. And it is the way that it's been written. It's just investigative journalism at one of its best. And the editing is just superb. Also, like one of the things that Satish Jacob and Mark Tully mentioned is that these extremist movements, these riots, they don't happen because people are poor, that people are wanting, but they happen because people's expectations are higher than what they are getting. So that's all it's about. I hope you will read this book and will never forgive the perpetrators of assassination or the perpetrators of the anti-Sikh riots. And please leave your comments below. And this is Apurva the Book Hunter signing out. I will return tomorrow with another book. Thank you very much.